This is Steve Robbins. Welcome to the Get It Done Guys, quick and dirty tips to work less and do more. Some of us yearn to get everything on our to-do lists done. We pride ourselves on our amazing lists, and then we add things to them faster than we can possibly do them. The mountain of tasks grows, thrusting out of our office like a new volcano rising from the North Pacific. Only instead of being populated with palm trees and indigenous peoples, our mountain is populated with checkboxes and blinking past due dates. This isn't how life has to be. Consider entrepreneur Richard Giles Whiting. He doesn't have an English accent, but he should. He is chill. Very, very chill. Although he pretends to be an American businessman, I'm convinced he's a secret agent in real life. Only a secret agent could stay so serene and composed while battling nefarious evil masterminds, running his own company, and maintaining a relationship with his very own schmoopy. I asked him recently how he manages to get it all done without the olives sloshing out of his martini. Richard began by explaining that everything takes time. Well, duh, I knew that. Even if you're falling into the event horizon of the gigantic black hole in the center of the galaxy, you appear to freeze forever. But from your point of view, time does keep ticking. And if everything takes time, he says, then you'll actually end up doing the things during blocks of time. So far, I'm enthralled with the brilliance of his explanation. And since everything belongs in a time block, Richard puts it on his calendar the moment he decides to do something. By deciding in advance which time block he'll use for a task, he makes sure that everything fits in his schedule. Because scheduling forces discipline, and this is how he looks so serene. Since he has to find a time block before he can say yes to something, if his schedule is filling up, he sees it immediately. When someone asks him to please be on the board of a nonprofit devoted to saving flightless waterfowl that live beneath bridges on the Thames, he can immediately see that there are no free time blocks in his schedule. He knows he's full, and no is the only viable answer. Now, this is very unlike many people's strategy, which is to say yes, and then spend the next several years feeling horrible about not being able to give the job the commitment that it deserves. And it's not just professional time that gets scheduled. What else takes time? Pondering, daydreaming, and letting your brain be wildly creative. Rather than leaving open spaces on the calendar, Richard fills every minute with an appointment, even if it's an appointment with himself to think or read or clip his toenails. His personal life, which apparently still takes time, also ends up being subject to the same discipline as his professional life. And his toenails are smashing. I think it must be awfully stressful to schedule every possible waking minute, but no. He assures me that this way is actually less stressful, since he knows he has built-in time for the things that are important to him in more than just his work life. But he limits his pro bono time. Forcing himself to identify time blocks to do stuff means that he limits how much work he does for free. Now, he's happy to help out a friend or a colleague pro bono. After all, secret agents have great instincts for tracking down criminals, kidnappers, and lost library books. But he only schedules 2 hours a week as his pro bono time block. If you ask him for help, he'll say, sure, and then he'll say, my first free pro bono time slot is in February of 2023. Oh, what time shall I write you in? This lets him do volunteer work and work that's motivated by pure altruism and values while ensuring that it doesn't take over a disproportionate amount of his life. Richard also takes special care to schedule meetings back to back. At each meeting, his colleagues know that he has a hard stop at the agreed upon time. This forces them to use their time well. It also gives him an excuse to duck out when the meeting was scheduled to end. I have a prior meeting which I must respect, even as I respected this one, he can always say. This means that he can always be on time, too. When you're meeting a shadowy figure at 1:23 a.m. in downtown London to exchange a mysterious briefcase for the papers, only back-to-back meeting discipline can ensure that you'll make it on time. If a meeting does run unavoidably long, Richard immediately reschedules the meeting that got delayed, and this way there's no mysterious unaccounted-for time owed to someone else hanging over his head. Now, this all seems reasonable, suspiciously reasonable, and then I spotted the flaw. Did Mr. Whiting seriously expect me to believe that he scheduled his time all the way down to returning a quick phone call or dashing off a handwritten memo to Natasha giving her the location of the sinister blueprints? Indeed, he did not. Tasks that would take less than 3 to 5 minutes, he adds to his to-do list. Now, unlike my to-do list, however, he keeps his short and immediately actionable. Then he schedules a block of time to work his way through it, confidently secure that he can zip through the whole list because he schedules a large enough time block and he makes sure that only short items go on his to-do list. And you too will be able to have a serene and calm life while getting everything done with the precision of Her Majesty's Secret Service. I'm Steve Robbins. Follow Get It Done Guy on Twitter and Facebook. I run webinars and other programs to help people be extraordinarily productive and build extraordinary careers. If you want to know more, visit steverrobbins.com. That's STEVERROBBINS.com. Work less, do more, and have a great life.